Hey guys, so we're about to get into a very interesting discussion about Zack Snyder's homage to the original Batman comics, that is. But it's going to be in a very interesting and unique way that we're going to talk about this. This is going to be very interesting. You guys are going to really enjoy it quite a lot. Don't forget, you can have your chat in the chat section. It's right across here. So let's get into it because I don't have much time. Psalms 118. Verse is 16 and onwards said, the right hand of the Lord is exalted. The right hand of the Lord does valiantly or honorably. I shall not die, but live and declare the works of the Lord. The Lord has chastened me sore. He has not given me over, though, unto death. Open to me the gates of righteousness. When they're talking about the gates of righteousness, by the way, we're talking about temple. So there's a particular gate where you approach the altar of the temple. So that's what they're talking about when they're talking about gates of righteousness here. I will go into them and I will praise the Lord. This gate of the Lord into which the righteous shall enter. So it was an eastern gate where you would approach the altar. A prince would approach the altar, give his sacrifice, watch it happen, and then leave either through the eastern gate or he may go through another gate, the southern gate, for instance. All right. And it's very interesting, the temple and all of that stuff, but it's an imagery of us coming in to Christ or coming into God, approaching him, and he enduing his righteousness on us. And so when you talk about going through a gate, they're really talking about going through this passage, like being baptized, a sort of baptism. Okay. So I just wanted to say that. 3 viewers here, man. Shout out to all you guys. I will check you guys out in the chat section in a second. Sorry. All right. So it's a manner of baptism. It's like, you go into, when you say go into God, it's really interesting. It's not, the Bible has many different reasons or ways of saying go into, like, sometimes they say a man will go unto his wife, into a place, onto his wife, it's a joining basically. All right. And so when you talk about go through a gate, think of a gate as a dimension, an opening to a dimension. Think of it that way, that you're entering into a new life. You're entering into Christ, into his body, that kind of thing. That's what they're talking about here. Anyway, let's just keep it moving here. And so it says, I will praise you for you have heard me and you have become my salvation. Again, when you say praise me, heard me, become my salvation. 4 viewers, shout out to you guys, man. Happy weekend to you guys. I'll be with you guys in the chat section in a minute. I just need to get through this real quick because I got to get going too. Yes, when it says you have become my salvation, salvation is not just about getting saved, as a lot of people like to say. The word salvar or saliva or even salver means to wash. Okay, so salvation, like soap. So that's why you hear about the Fuller soap in the Bible, which is a white soap that whitens clothing, right? So when you talk about salvation, we're actually talking about cleansing, all right? So when you dip into God, you get cleansed. It's that kind of understanding. Baptism is talking about here. Let me just finish it off here for you guys. So it says, you have become my salvation. Here's the catch, man. And I want you guys to remember this, forever remember it, okay? It says, the stone which the builders refused or the builders rejected has become the headstone of the corner. Let me just say something about that. Appearances. Don't get caught up in appearances, folks. Don't get caught up in appearances. Let me say it again. Do not get caught up in appearances. Always watch at what someone does, not what they appear to be. And a lot of people in movies, in whatever, they get caught up in what things appear to be. All right. I wanted to put this out in YouTube land for whoever is out there, for whatever persuasion you are, to say that it's not about how you appear to people. That's the principal thing. It's what you do. What you do. Sometimes you will not be popular. Sometimes people will think of you as the enemy. And I take all the DCU films. I take Batman v Superman. Superman appeared to some people to be a villain. He appeared to people to be, and it's not about appearances. That's why I liked, again, the director of Star Wars The Last Jedi. He may appear to be somebody who has just trashed the Star Wars franchise. It's not what appear to be, it's what you do. Remember that. So I gave you guys some of the understanding, but it is a baptism where when you're dipped into righteousness, when God pulls you in onto himself, however you look at God, That's your opinion. I break it down so simple. I say goodness. If goodness draws you into itself and you're attracted to goodness and you envelop yourself, you wash yourself with goodness. All right. Simple language, right? Then it's what you do that will show that. All right. So that's what this scripture is saying. And then Jesus goes and quotes it later on, says the stone that the builders rejected became the head of the corner. It's not what you appear to look like. Some people appear to be upstanding. They appear to be honorable. They appear, that's appearances. They trick people with that. But when you are genuinely good, genuinely honest, and generally honorable, sometimes you appear to be a bad person. But it's not about appearances. All right. So today, I challenge each and every one of you. Step out there and seek. Your intention is to do something good today. The days are up and running. So whatever you're doing, if you're a hardworking person, that's a good thing. You know what I'm saying? If you're somebody who likes to care for his family, that's a good thing. If you like watching out for the well-being of other people, that's a good thing. If you're defending the powerless and helpless, that's a good thing. Looking for justice, that's a good thing. Just make sure it is justice you truly are looking for, not retribution and revenge. These are good things. And they are a start. If you want to know more about Jesus, just ask him. You ain't got to go to no priest, no pastor, no doctor, no nothing. Just right now, ask him. It's that simple. You want to know about God? Really? You want to know about God? Just ask him. It's that simple. In fact, he's just a thought away. You don't even have to open your mouth. Nobody even has to know. Just got to think it. It's that simple. Let's get into what we're going to talk about today. This is a must-see video. That's why I got you guys here. Let's get into it. We're talking about Batman. I'm about to hit it here with screen share here. Boom. Off in the screen share. Boom. Here we are. All right. So this is an interesting topic, and I want to get into it. So when you look at Batman throughout the live action period of him, live action, whether it's television or film, we've had live action depictions of Batman. And one of the key things about Batman that defines him is his symbols. The symbols that Batman has. His symbol is generally a bat flying, sometimes within a circle. So here's the earliest depictions of Batman. This is the earliest depiction of Batman here in live action. You can see the symbol on his shirt, and you can see the symbol above him. Again, here's another depiction of Batman. This time, instead of having the two little bat ears there, the bat is outstretched here, and he's got two little, like almost like beady eyes, like a bee or a fly. Here, the bat symbol's changed a little bit. You can see it's changed to a wavy bat symbol. You can see the two little ears there, and the rest of the things, little ear bumps and stuff. And you got that little circular thing around it. All right, and this is a period in time when Batman looks something like this. And then we have Michael Keaton's Batman. Michael Keaton of 1989. It looked more gothic looking. And then in 1992, this is the symbol. All right. And then we go to Val Kilmer's Batman in 1995. And you see the symbol there. And then we see Val Kilmer's Batman again in Batman Forever. Same movie. And there's the symbol there again. All right. It's kind of changed a bit. Now he's got these. And then George Clooney, he had two outfits. And there's the bat symbol. All right. And then we had Birds of Prey, Bruce Thomas. Okay. Birds of Prey. We had a television series, and there's the symbol there. And then we had Christian Bale's Batman, the very first Batman, Christian Bale, on his shirt, at least, on his outfit. This was the symbol, but actually the symbol that we began Batman Begins with looked more like this. All right. And then we have Ben Affleck's Batman symbol. Look at that symbol there. All right. And there it is all the way to the end. We have the technical Batman. He has the symbol, but it's going to split a little bit. All right. Now, what's interesting about this is I'm going to show you some stuff. I'm going to show you guys some stuff. We're getting a little bit of difficulty. You're going to have to excuse me here. I'm trying to get this to operate the way it should. It's not operating the way it should. I should see a plus sign somewhere here. Okay, there you go. All right. Now, I want to show you guys something. When we look at the very first Batman comic book named after Batman, we're not talking about the debut of Batman, which happened in Detective Comics, but the very first Batman comic, Batman issue #1 of spring of 1940. And when you look at that issue, you will see the Batman symbol above. And look at this Batman symbol. Look at it really well. And look at it again. This is issue number 2. The summer of issue number 2. And there's the bat symbol again. And just for the record, here it is again in issue number, what is this? No, this is not a recent issue number. This is actually Batman issue number 201. It's slightly different. The symbol is slightly different here. Okay, that's issue number 201. But here it is in issue number 3. There's that symbol there again. Okay, see it? Pay attention now. Issue number 4. There it is again. All right. Number 5. Number 6. Now I want you to just pay attention also to the symbol that's on Batman's chest as well. All right. Notice the symbols. It's getting pretty interesting. It's starting to get similar to something else. I'm going to show you in a minute. But here's issue number 7. Now you notice his ears is not as long as in issue number 5 and 4. See how long his ears are there? So you got a little shorter, stubbier ears. So Batman has a slightly different appearance. Of course, the symbol is now blue there, and there's a little bit purplish there. All right, issue number 8. There he is. Issue number 9. Now I'm showing you all of these things for a reason, right? Issue number, what is this? This is issue number 119. So we're going way through time now. We're just watching the issue number 119. Again, he has short, pointy ears. Very interesting that's so. And the 300th issue, we still got that symbol. The ears a little bit longer now, you know, but same sort of symbol in the front. And here is issue. This is now not just a Batman comic, but this is the Brave and the Bold. All right. And this is actually issue number 119 of the Brave and the Bold, when Batman faces Man-Bat. And then look again, there's the symbol of Batman. In Detective Comics, this is issue number 400 of Detective Comics. So 400 issues later in Detective Comics, we still have Batman with this symbol. Interesting, isn't it? This is Batman, Robin, and Batgirl. Detective Comics number 418 is the issue. And there's the symbol again. It's the same for 419. In fact, for 420 issues, well, not 420 issues, but up to issue number 420, Batman has this symbol. And in Batman comics, it goes all the way up to 400 and something as well. All right. Batman has that symbol, as well as we saw him in the Brave and the Bold as well. And he has this symbol. It's only in the next issue after this. So this is the symbol. If you take a good look, this is the symbol, or it's very much like that this symbol is. And that to me is huge, because Zack Snyder is hailing back to the very first original Batman. Of course, the ears are a little bit shorter here. I mean, you know, and you don't exactly, well, actually, no, they're about the same. And the face is about the same as well. So that we're actually hailing back with a little longer tail. We're really hailing back to the original Batman symbol. That's where Zack Snyder took us, all the way back to the original Batman symbol. And what's even more interesting about it is the fact that, I mean, if you look at the Dark Knight Returns, which has that big bat symbol, even that's not as similar as this one is to the original stuff. And there it is again. This is the symbol. So I found this really interesting. And then when we were looking at the making of the symbol and how they worked it out, here you can see the original Batman symbol. This was the original Batman symbol here. I changed a little bit here, and we have some different variations of it. And then here is that Batman symbol again, once again here. Okay, and there it is again there. These are different symbols over time, you know, that we just saw. All right. Now it's very cool because it's basically a huge nod to the original Batman, which spanned in Detective Comics, went up to Detective Comics 420. Okay, isn't that cool? Hey, let's have a look at it again. So here's the symbol. It's slightly different. I mean, here it would have a little bit of longer place, and I think it has 2 more ribbons on it, yeah, than this one. But it's very much very similar to this symbol. Very similar to this symbol. Very much. Basically, you can put Batman's head in there, you know, and that would be it, you know. And I find that really cool, really awesome. And then in the next issue, which would be in an issue number 421, we see this symbol now that evolves. And if you know anything about Tim Burton actually, this was in 1998, this issue came out. And in 1989, we know Tim Burton's Batman came out. And it's not exactly like that. This one, 1992 version, looks more like it. But it's basically based on this Gothic symbol here. All right. Which is not the original Batman symbol, but it is still a symbol nonetheless. And then we have this symbol here. And this symbol is pretty much, this was in 1994, this came out. This was Batman 0 Hour. And, you know, some of the issues around that time, all the way into 1995, had this kind of symbol. And it's interesting that Batman Forever, sorry, actually patterns itself after that symbol. So that's pretty interesting. Okay, this one's a little bit fatter, but it's more or less the same kind of symbol. Okay, so it's interesting that these pattern themselves pretty much after the Batman comics. And then when we go to 2006, I think it was September of 2006, we have this Batman comic here. And if you look at the symbols, it's very much similar to the Batman and Robin split symbol, especially the Batman part of it, not the Robin part of it, the Batman part of it. You see how it's designed and everything? Just look at it. See, it's almost the same. All right. And this came out in 1997. All right. So we've had, what's interesting is, at least at the time, these symbols were reflective of the Batman in the comics at the time. So, for instance, the Batman 1989 symbol was reflective, you know, a bit of the Batman of the time. And when we look at Batman Forever, the symbol was reflective of the Batman and Batman comics at the time. And hold on a second. And when we look at even Batman and Robin, the Batman symbol is reflective of the Batman in the comics at the time. It's quite identical to it. It's pretty good. So Schumacher did pull from those things. You got to give him his props for that. Now, in Batman comics of 2004, we had a couple of them. And this is one of them. And this was the Batman symbol on that comic. And as we know, Batman Begins has that kind of symbol. Let me just go back here so you guys can see that. Hold on a second. All right, so here we are. And this is Batman Begins right here. And you can see that symbol is very much similar. Let me blow it up a little bit. Come on. There you go. And you can see that the symbol is very much similar to that symbol, even though, let me get back to it. Even though in the actual movie itself, they actually promoted a different symbol. So you can see this is pretty much similar to this at the time. Okay. But Batman Begin, actually, they highlighted this symbol. This is the symbol they had with Batman's outstretched cape, and is, you know, it's kind of looking more upwards. And this is the symbol we see throughout. So this symbol here is not really touted in Batman Begins that much. But this is, anyway, after Batman Begins in DC Comics, this is the 674th issue. This is back in 2000, and if I'm not mistaken, 11. We have this symbol here for Batman. And of course, we then had in 2011, this is August of 2011, you can see it right there. We had a Batman comic which was featured, and you see the outstretched kind of cape here, which kind of looks more like this, right? It's not quite it, but anyway, Christopher Nolan tried. Christopher Nolan basically departed from your typical Batman comic symbols. Let me just be real with you guys. And even the Arkham games didn't really quite embrace that. And then, of course, in this issue is, I don't know what issue this is, but this is in 2000 again, and 11, I do believe. And okay, they go back to the standard Batman symbol that you saw in Batman Forever. And Christopher Nolan kept with this symbol. All right. So Christopher Nolan kind of departed from the comics pretty much. And then there are some versions of the comics where they actually use that symbol. Here you see it here in the New 52. That's somewhat of a sort of similar to this symbol, but that is after the fact. And even the Arkham games, they sort of took on that, but they were again after Batman Begins of 2005, and even the 2008 Dark Knight. Then they started taking it on. So that Christopher Nolan actually, he set his own standard for that, but that really he didn't really see anything like that from the comics, which is cool. But he's not. You can't say he's the most comic book accurate Batman. He also had this symbol here, which is also on Batman and Batman Begins. Okay, so the New 52 kind of patterned itself after Christopher Nolan's Batman a bit. Now, the point behind that is that when you look at Batman, therefore, and what Zack Snyder did, he literally went all the way back to the beginnings of Batman. He went back to the absolute beginnings, to the first issue of Batman. Of course, these ears are a little bit more pointy than the Batman that the symbol that Ben Affleck had. But by around this time, around issue number 7, we basically got that iconic Batman look that Ben Affleck has. Of course, there are variations of it as well. All right, but I just find that really cool to show you. Now, so that's one of the major things I wanted to talk to you guys about, that this symbol here really goes all the way back to the beginning. There's another thing I want to show you guys. So let me show you one time and get over it. And then we can talk a little bit in the chat section if you guys want to. And that has to do with Batman influencing a number of other comics. So you know that the Rebirth series, they paid tribute to the original Batman series of the 80s by actually replicating this moment, which is a bit different. This is not Selena Kyle here. This is someone else. But they still replicate the moment on the cover. And if anybody knows about Spawn, Spawn actually did the same thing. McFarlane's Spawn in his 230th issue paid homage to the original Batman comic, where Batman here is comforting someone. It's almost identical. Look at that. He uses all the bats and everything. So I find that really cool. Of course, McFarlane was the one that actually did the Batman comic as well. So that's why he was able to pull from it, because it was part of his works. Okay, so I wanted to point out all those things to you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Now, let me stop that. And let me get into some other things that I wanted to say. Now, I see some of you guys popped up on my feed. So let me see if I can find you guys here very quickly. It's 1:46 already. I got to go before 2. So let me see if I can just do this really quickly with you guys. Let me see what you guys are saying. Arthur Lemon says, it's me. Arthur Lemon says, there are complaints with Neil Adams' way of drawing Batman when his drawn Batman was seen as the real Batman, appearing only in The Brave and the Bold and not in Batman or Detective Comics. Batman in issue number 711 is Dick Grayson. Again, it doesn't really matter, like I said before, because basically that might be so hard too, but the bottom, the punchline of the whole thing is that I'm looking at the logos, the symbols that represent Batman, not particularly who was Batman. So that doesn't really matter to me. My point is, though, that when you look at what Zack Snyder did, you're paying tribute to the original Batman. We're looking at Batman from way back when, Bill Finger and the other guy who wrote for Batman, Bill Finger's representation of Batman. And when you look at those comics, Zack Snyder is actually hailing back to the original comics. And I just wanted to show you why I think that of all the Batman out there, Zack Snyder's Batman is the most comic book accurate and it's like the original ideas of Batman, and then how Batman evolved to the point in which we're seeing Batman. Zack Snyder literally does that. Like when he starts off with Batman, we introduce to him, and we get to see him using guns, and now he's less and less using guns and weapons and being so brutal to people. And that's basically how Batman began as well in his history. When you look at the first comic, Batman was very brutal, and he was using guns, he was killing people a lot. And then he got less and less vicious as the comics progressed. So you see that Zack Snyder is literally emulating the comics and the comic book history. And so that's what's so kind of cool about Batman, his evolution through time as we watch Batman progress, and he becomes more of the current day Batman we know. And that Zack Snyder's literally his costuming and even the way how Batman behaves is reflective of that. So that's why I said that Zack Snyder's original homage to the original Batman and more is really cool. When we talk about also, and the whole point is that the longest running symbol of Batman, that we know of is that original symbol that I just showed you, where you see his head and then he has the shape of an outstretched bat. That's the longest running symbol. And Zack is the first director to ever tap into that. All the other directors were basically doing some kind of contemporary symbol of Batman as he was evolving through time. Zack went back to the source. He went back to the original symbol of Batman. And there's so many homages to the original Batman in terms of the color of his costuming and his outfits and so many things Zack Snyder does, including the evolution of the character from what we know from in the past to the present time. So Zack Snyder has done a lot of fantastic work with Batman, like I was saying to you, R2, to different people. So I wanted to share that with you guys. I gotta go. But if you guys want to either join me in the chat section, whatever you want to do, but we're gonna spend about 10 to 15 minutes if we can. I need to get out of here by 2 o'clock. I don't know if that's possible, but we're gonna try and just get this wrapped up real quick, because I just wanted to share this thing with you guys because it's a fundamental thing in the actual symbol or logo that Batman puts on his chest. There's a lot of thought that was put into that. Again, I love the DC because there's a lot of thought put into each and everything that's done in the DCEU. I can't say that for the MCU, so I'm just being honest with you. I was just showing a guy a number of plot holes in the MCU, and the guy can't even answer me. And he was saying, it was great. Infinity was great, and I only saw Infinity War once, only once, folks. And people saying it's a great movie and stuff, and I'm like, that's a pile of crap. I can easily back up what I'm saying. So yeah, let's go into it. R2, you got anything else you want to say? Because I gotta go, bro. I gotta go. So if anybody else has anything else they want to say here on this video feed, feel free to say it right now. Otherwise, got a jet, guys. You can always watch the video later. All right. In 3. I know there's a delay, so I'm going to wait for you guys to respond to that, and then I'm out of here. All right, in 3, in 2, in 1. All right. Man, it was great talking to you guys. I got to go. R2, man, shout out to you. And don't forget to share updates if you want to put it in the comment section on what you're doing in terms of crossover movies. Also put your link down there and stuff so that we can always share it with everybody else. You guys have a great one. I might see you guys again later. This was exclusive because I haven't yet put out these memes in social media. So when I do put out the memes in social media, you guys know what it is. You guys have a great one. Oops, mean this. There you go. There you go. There you go.